Hi everyone, my name is Anton and I'm married to Nee, and we have a 11-month-old baby boy named Ezra. I grew up in Sydney, in the southwest of Sydney, around the Bankstown area, going to Padstow Chinese Congregational Church since I was in primary school. For the last 4.5 years, our family have been in the Northern Territory, and we just recently moved back to Sydney. My hobbies, I like to do art and I enjoy the outdoors as well, and I like to go hiking. The journey back to Sydney for me started while my family were in the Northern Territory. So at the time I was serving as a missionary pilot with Mission Aviation Fellowship in Arnhem. Nee and I were living in a small mining town called Nhulunbuy with a population of about 3,500. And so this was about 1.5 years ago. We were recently married for just a couple of months. Nee was pregnant and the weather outside was hot and humid, so she always had to stay inside. And we were living in a small, dark granny flat, and as a result she felt quite isolated. She really wanted to leave Arnhem Land at that time. And so that kind of sparked in me the thought of what else could we be doing as a family, because I didn't want to force Nee to stay there. And at the same time, I also had a desire to use some of my other skills in ministry, such as preaching and teaching the Bible, because I found it a bit hard to find time to do those things as a full-time pilot. I tried to find opportunities to preach, but it felt like just extra work on top of full-time work. So I wanted to have more opportunities and more time to do that kind of ministry. And another factor was that I needed to finish my master's degree in divinity. The deadline was approaching, and I feel all those factors combined kind of pulled us away from Arnhem Land a bit. And I was also aware that there was a need at Padstow Chinese Congregational Church, at the English congregation, and there was a need for someone to help nurture the second generation Australian-born Chinese young people at the church as well. And so we made the decision, maybe I should take up a pastoral role at Padstow Chinese Congregational Church. So my role is to focus on the English congregation. The English congregation is comprised mostly of the second generation So the second generation are the kids of the first generation Chinese immigrants who came from China to Australia. So these young men and women are mostly born in Australia. So I'll be focusing on them, and as part of my role I'll be involved in preaching, helping out during Sunday services. I'll be supporting the leaders of the congregation in the Young Adults Bible Study, and also at the high schoolers youth group as well. Many people support us in our ministry, particularly at my induction service last week, where there were 200 people turned up, and that was quite overwhelming to see that support. So really praise God for him and his people. My family's still in the process of settling into Sydney. It's a sort of transition, having moved from Northern Territory, Arnhem Land to Sydney. It's quite a big change for us. So please pray for our transition back into the big city life and all its busyness. And also please pray for my ministry as well, as a pastor of the English congregation, just for good understanding and cooperation with the Chinese pastors and the Chinese leadership. I think it's important for our church.